Hey everyone! So if you can't tell, I made myself a new Sprite. Not the best, but I also have a second Sprite that I'm saving for a different video that I made at the same time. I don't know. I haven't decided which one I'm actually going to use yet. Anyways, so I'm sorry for the noise in the background. I've been messing around with my editing software and I cannot get rid of it unless and the noise is my AC unit. And I'm sorry, I am not sweating. I mean, I am. That's because it's so hot. Anyways, yeah. Okay, so my friend and I have recently been rewatching My Little Pony, and I say recently, but really I've had this kind of video in the works since August, and I just never finished it. So she's rewatching it fully for the first time, and I'm just rewatching my favorite episodes because I've already rewatched it fully whenever the last season came out. But in the process of brainstorming YouTube ideas, I thought it would be a cool idea to kind of turn my OCs into My Little Pony characters, because as a little girl who was an artist, who didn't draw My Little Pony characters? I mean, come on. Anyways, so My Little Pony was like a really big part of my life because of that. I have very fond memories of drawing My Little Ponies in my grandparents' house during the summer, oh my gosh, what the heck, on the back of my school notebook, like that cardboard piece. Oh my gosh, the amount of times I drew on that cardboard piece. There was actually this one time whenever I had a notebook and it had two cardboard pieces, and I was like, yay, extra drawing room. Anyway, so going back and drawing them when I've grown up in my art is definitely going to be fun. So, as I said, these characters are going to be from my original story, actually I said they were original characters, but they are from my original story. So if you want to learn more about them, then I will link the video to, the stories and such, and, their redesigning. Honestly, though, really just click on pretty much any of my videos, and you'll probably show up on one of them. I post about these characters all the time. But the first thing I did was I sketched out the characters to figure out their color palettes. It wasn't really hard considering most of my characters' color palettes are pretty easy. I tried to keep all of my characters at around 3 colors. If I go overboard, then my brain just hurts. In fact, it was extremely easy for one of my OCs because my OC Jean had previously been a pony before as well, but I changed her cutie mark and her body coloring so it didn't clash, because I wanted her cutie mark to be blue, but I wanted her body to be blue, so I had to make her body black instead, which worked out, so it worked. Although now I showed this to my friend and she said that she looks like that one character from Horseland, and now I can't unsee it. So yeah. But in my story, I have 3 races, and I decided to put each race as a different kind of pony. So, elves are unicorns, humans are earth ponies, and dragons are pegasi. Now, there is a reason why I did dragons as pegasi and not, the actual dragons of My Little Pony, which I will explain when I get to that character. But yeah. Now that I got the sketches out of the way, I started to work on Jean's drawing. Now you may be wondering, if Jean was a human, then why is she an alicorn rather than an earth pony? That's because in my story, Jean also has something called a mark, which kind of is a power-up of sorts. Pretty much anyone who has a mark is, destined for greatness or whatever. Because of this, I decided to make whoever has a mark in my book to be an alicorn. Although Jean does use her magic to hide the fact that she is, because she hates attention. So her cutie mark is a damaged heart gem with a sword through it. Jean's story is all about learning to forgive yourself and to kind of make your own path. So while at first she saw her cutie mark as a way that she will always be damaged and would stay at her father. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. she will always be damaged and stay in her father's shadow, it actually means that she will be patched up and teach others to forgive themselves. I swear it was much more poetic when I first thought about it, but I kind of got this idea from, like, when I was watching the My Little Pony episodes, like, the Cutie Mark Crusaders' main cutie mark is their, like, talent is helping people find out what their cutie mark represents and, like, what it means, because it's not always what it means, or, like, what it seems. And so I kind of, like doing that, but on on this character, because, like, yes, she is kind of damaged, but, like, she will learn to forgive herself and move on from that and help others too. So yeah. Now the coloring on this was a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, I loved coloring this. Because, like, it was fun. Like, there's nothing else to really say. Like, it honestly made me so happy to, like, actually, like, go back and draw My Little Ponies, because I haven't done it in so long. And it's kind of funny that I do that, because typically when I get, like, a new art app or something, my first go-to is to draw My Little Pony, because, like, it's just something that it's just kind of like a tradition at this point. But yeah, so, like, I didn't do it the first time I started using Clip Studio Paint, but to actually do it now, it felt kind of rewarding, I guess you could say. But yeah, so that's Jean and her alicorn greatness or whatever. Okay, so next is Violet. In my story, she is a fire elf, but in this, like, My Little Pony AU, she is a unicorn. I ended up changing the first layout so that it could be just a bit more dynamic. It came from a side profile to her looking straight at the camera, but then I realized that she still didn't look right, and so, like, I had to mess around with it a little bit until I finally realized why. Violet is very much a prim and proper person, so I had to find a way to mix that into a pony version. So I ended up changing it to where her head is tilted up, and honestly, in My Little Pony Anatomy, hers was the most difficult one, even after the stance change. In the show, you don't see many ponies with bangs or short hair, so trying to implement Violet's one-sided short hair was very difficult. Even now, I don't think I got it right. Violet's magic specialty is going to be fire, and, like, her cutie mark is of a bow and arrow, mostly because that's her weapon in my book, but partially because it represents her a lot. I would go into more detail about her cutie mark, but just know that there are hidden details in the simple design. Some that I can't really say because that would be spoilers in the book, and yeah, you're gonna have to wait till the book comes out. So Violet is the only pony out of the three that have a clothing item on them, and that's because Violet's scarf is such a major character point, as her scarf was passed down from her father to her, and I honestly can't see her without it, even her pony self, so I decided to add that small little detail. And if you've seen My Little Pony, you know they wear clothes. I mean, yeah, the main six don't typically, except for maybe Rarity, but they wear clothes, so it's fine. I did really like doing the, like, kind of phoenix magic spiral thing and, like, the background. It was so much fun to mess with the colors and such. Overall, I really liked how hers looked. Like, came out. I mean, not looked. I mean, I like how it looks, but never mind. So, Amwyn gave me the most trouble out of the three. I knew for a fact that I wanted her wings to kind of, like, be spread out, because while there is dragons in My Little Pony, I was turning my characters into ponies, not, like, other creatures. At least, not for right now. So, to pay homage to Amwyn being a dragon in my story, I gave her dragon wings. It was honestly quite difficult to get her hair down, because there aren't many ponies that I can think of off the top of my head that have ponytails, which is kind of funny now that I think about it. Like, ponies that don't have ponytails, like, it's so weird. But I knew the curls weren't going to be bothering me, because My Little Pony was literally how I was taught how to do them. Thanks, Rarity, you were a lifesaver with your curl when I was younger. but what was a challenge was her cutie mark. In Fragments, Amwyn doesn't really have a full-on special talent. Like, she's amazing and I love her, but most of her character arc is discovering who she truly is. Because of this, Amwyn doesn't get her cutie mark until really late in her life, so making one was also very difficult. Because, like, there isn't really much for her. Like, she likes flying and she likes protecting people and she likes parties. Like, that's literally all I got. So I ended up doing this, like, shield with wings covering it because Amwyn thrives to protect her friends and family, and, like, she loves it, and I meant to say strives, not thrives. Oh well. But yeah, so that's Amwyn. I love Amwyn. She's amazing, but gosh, she drove me nuts with how to get her hair right. And that's it. My Little Pony was such a huge part of my childhood, and I'm so happy that I was able to make an AU with my characters. A part of me kind of wants to just dive fully into this and redesign ponies for My Little Pony, but I'm not too sure. Their designs are already kind of neat. I did, however, want to say that I just added My Little Pony commissions to my artistree, and by just doing it, I mean back in August when I first created this. So, if you want to check that out, my commission info is in the link below. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys all have a blessed day.